Alright, welcome back to Menu Heroes Digest. I'm your host, Steven.
And I'm Jordan, the co-host. And it's the final countdown.
Oh,
Na na na.
no.
Na 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 na.
My God.
Na na na. All right, stop right now because I think we're going to get DMCA struck or something. So
Alright, so
I'll stop.
Let's start. Let's just jump right in. So, our first piece of news
Let's
is
get into
that
Kirby.
Mario Kart 8 has a new character if you mod the game. It is Kirby. It's Kirby, but he ate a car.
Tune into our recent Nintendo Direct episode for more info on that.
Yes. It looks pretty pretty high quality.
Yeah, I'm looking at the GIF right now.
It's just
I'm loving it. Honestly,
it's just Kirby as a car.
You know, sometimes that's all you need in life, just a simple Kirby as a car.
Kirby as a car. All right. So, if you didn't know, because I didn't know, Konami had a dating simulator in 1990. Yes. It was on the Super Famicom and PlayStation, at least. And it was called Heartthrob, at least in English, it's called Heartthrob Memorial Under the Tree of Legends.
Yes.
It's an unofficial translation. It's by a team called Retro Translator. And yeah, they're almost done with it.
Yes, and I mean, granted, like I know some people might just shrug their eyes and say, "Ugh, a dating simulator." Pfft, you know, give me a real game with blood and shooting and death. But hold your horse there, Buckaroo. First of all, like Heartthrob Memorial, or more likely, Tokimeki Memorial Densetsu no Ki no Shutade, is kind of revolutionary in terms of, like, you know, dating simulators and visual novels into that effect. There's actually a pretty good video made by a former Kotaku editor, Tim Rogers, who just did like a 5-hour video about like the retrospective of the Heartthrob Memorial franchise. And funny enough, if you're a Castlevania fan, then you'll know that Koji Igarashi did some of the dialogue for certain characters for it, because you can date several women in most of these games, and a few of them are into how shall we say, the darker pleasures, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But no, man. Again, if just by looking at some of the screenshots and looking at like, again, obviously they're not in English, but looking at some of the clips for stuff within the game and all the mini games you can do in some of the, especially in some of the sequels, it's crazy, dude. Like, Konami was not pulling its punches with this franchise. Like, they put every bang in their buck for this one. You know, and but no, I didn't see the whole retrospective, the whole 5-hour retrospective, and obviously I've not fully experienced one of these games, but like from what I've seen, like you can tell they put a lot of effort into them, especially back in the day, back in the mid 90s. Like, this was groundbreaking for its time, and it still looks. I think it overall looks good, or still the visuals still hold up, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad for a Super Nintendo game. I don't have much more to say on it because I did not read the whole article. I'm too busy to read like a whole essay about a dating sim game. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, Valentine's Day had just passed, and I don't know about you, Steven, but I didn't have a whole lot to do other than taking care of my family that are still sick.
I didn't do anything
But
be sad and sleep. I worked.
well, you know what? Hey, you are doing self-care, and so long as you love yourself, that's all that matters.
Uh-oh. No.
Did the internet go out again?
No. The uh-oh was about loving yourself.
TMI, huh? TMI.
I didn't mean it like that. It's not my fault, you know. Anyway, speaking of self-love,
Yes.
more than 160,000. 100? Yes, I said it right. 160,000 Battlefield 2042 players sign a petition asking for refunds. If you'll remember, we've talked about how it's had a very rocky launch, and apparently
That is putting it mildly.
it's become clear that there are not fixes for it coming out anytime soon. So, people have signed a change.org petition asking Electronic Arts to offer refunds to all players on all platforms. Started about 4 weeks ago, and didn't make much of a splash at the time, but yeah, they it's become popular in the last few days, probably because EA and DICE, the studios behind it, announced a series of delays for big and small Battlefield content. They won't get any new content until summer, which is 6 months after the game originally released.
Yeah.
The game doesn't even have voice chat and a scoreboard. It's, according to change.org, it's one of the biggest and most popular petitions of this year. Granted, this year is just in February, but yeah.
Yeah, we're still
Steam,
pretty young.
Steam is offering refunds to players, but PlayStation and Xbox have not been as lucky. It's really hard to get Xbox and PlayStation to offer refunds on digitally purchased games because... Yeah, digital. The article points out something funny, though. The same thing happened during Cyberpunk 2077, and it's like, what is with something with games that have a 20XX year at the end?
It's warning about the future, Steven. It's gonna get even worse. They won't even allow refunds to even happen in the future.
So apparently, the petition claims that if it hits over 50,000 signatures, the creator will contact lawyers to potentially start a class action lawsuit. That'll be fun.
I mean, like, you want to be hopeful, and by all means, like, the people that have been upset by Battlefield's, the whole franchise, because the last couple games have not been doing too well. They have every right to, like, unite and to, form petitions and let the companies know, like, hey, we used to support your games, we've been buying your games, we've been pre-ordering, like you said, and this is the kind of crap you're giving it out to us. Like, nah, man, we can't keep doing this. Stop it. Yeah. I appreciate all the, again. I salute them. I wish them the best. But EA is a massive company, and they got enough money to where they can just easily ignore this. Maybe a lawyer might, like, them getting a lawyer might come in and cause some disruption, but like they'll settle. They'll think of something to, like, get everyone distracted, or to or some kind of thing. And again, I want to believe that change can happen, and that when people work together, they can put their mind to something, and real change can happen. But I used to put a lot of faith into change.org, into online petitions, and that almost never
doesn't do
results in much change. Yeah. All
right. So, in other
I'll
news,
I'll do you 160,000, y'all. Godspeed, and I wish y'all the best of luck.
all right. So,
And speaking of people, I wish the best of luck to. I wish all those Ubisoft employees that are dealing with like the crazy management and higher ups there that want everything NFTs. They want to put NFTs in nearly everything. And all these Ubisoft employees that just want to develop games. They just want to make games for all of us and want us to have a fun time. And their bosses just are certain that the next wave is overpriced JPEGs. It's crazy.
yeah. So, in case you don't know, the Ubisoft employees have like made it very well known that they do not like NFTs. There are hundreds of negative comments. One of the commenters saying that it was really a deeply embarrassing day to work for the French video game company. Now, interestingly, this was on their internal bulletin board. So the fact that this was leaked to the public, Ubisoft's not very happy about it. Some of the highlights are somebody writing, "Are we competing with EA for the most hated game studio by the public?" I think the kids call this entire comment section being ratioed.
Here's this one. Seriously, our confidence in management was already shaken by the handling of harassment cases, and now this? Woof.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not wrong.
They're not.
Like, they're just coming off it more and more as like French EA at this point.
French EA.
Even bigger glasses of wine and like bigger and like longer cigarettes and crap.
Oh my god.
Oh, here's a wonderful commenter within the Ubisoft's management. You know what else makes a lot of money? A third chimed in, reportedly unafraid to use their real name, criticizing Ubisoft's decision-making. Making fun, spectacular, groundbreaking blockbusters. Why don't we just focus on that instead?
like we've said, they're not wrong.
No, and no, it's just like... Because I know I talk a lot of trash about big companies, but I want to make it very clear, I'm used to talking about like the people higher up, the ones that are in charge of said companies. There are plenty of employees that are just there doing their 9 to 5, or well, in case of not including crunch and all that, but employees they're just hired to do a job. Either they love the company, or they just like, hey, either they just love designing games, or hey, just it's a job. They just won't be able to do what they do well and be paid and go back home, whenever they can, see their families, how little time they have and everything. It just, I got no beef with them. I hope they are doing well. Hope they're doing okay. But even they agree that a lot of the CEOs and a lot of like executive producers that are pushing stuff that nobody wants. And they're also speaking up, and the employees are speaking up, saying, "No, we don't want this. Stop. You're making us all look bad."
Yeah. So, still on the topic of NFTs.
Yes, okay, I swear, guys, we only got one more. Okay, just give us one more story about NFTs, and we swear we'll move on to other things. I promise.
We won't. So Wizards shut down an unauthorized Magic the Gathering NFT-based format. So MTG DAO was a Magic format that would bring the wonder of NFTs to the world of Magic. but it used Wizards IP, intellectual property. Now, let's see. Basically, in their cease and desist, they hint at their own NFT plans.
Yeah, that's the disappointing part about this. That Wizards of the Coast were already thinking about doing NFTs before, but like this is a group I hear, MTG, Dio, were basically just a third party that like had no connection to Wizards of the Coast, but insisted that they're the ones who could make NFTs of all the Magic the Gathering art and characters and everything. And you know, and their response to this like lawsuit and this thing is like, you know, why can't you just be open-minded? Why can't you trust us to you know, make the NFTs? We promise we'll make them all a crazy amount of money. And it's like, yeah, Wizard of Coast are like, no, one, we can do that ourselves, and B, we don't trust you to give the money back to us. Or you have never had any access or right to our intellectual property, so no, you can't make NFTs of our stuff. Are you crazy?
Oh my god.
That's the abridged version, anyway.
Yes, basically. All right. Moving on, because we still have like 6 articles to cover, and I'm going out.
Got a lot, guys.
I'm going out of order of what you sent me. Sorry.
Okay.
So, Capcom started a countdown timer. This story is really short. It's literally 3 paragraphs, and like the first one is 1 sentence.
I was kind of hoping they would have released early, or, you know, I know it said the original plan was going to be 6 days and 19 hours. Or currently, I checked on the website right now. It was like 4 days and 3 hours is what last time I checked.
We won't know we won't know what it means until February 21st, which is Monday.
Yeah.
Now, you know, there are speculations that it could be Street Fighter or Resident Evil or Monster Hunter or Mega Man, you know, the 4 games that they're really known for. It's not going to be Ace Attorney, so, you know, we can just nip that in the bud.
Yeah, and
it better not be for NFTs.
Hopes for... Oh, damn it, why'd you have to say that? See, I was gonna come in here. I had put a lot of thought into this. Like, I was doing like examining things and like studying patterns and everything, because like because Capcom was originally going to do Capcom Pro Tour, because like it's usually like their tournament thing where they have all their various like esports, you know, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4, or many of their classics fighting games, and a bunch of fans would like get a chance to like compete in tournaments. That was going to happen this Sunday. Unfortunately, with COVID and all the various variants are becoming a problem, they had to cancel this year still. But I'm sure the plan was going to be they were going to reveal something big at Capcom Pro Tour, which again is usually a fighting game event. So I thought, yeah, probably going to be Street Fighter 6. You know, I had some deep hope that maybe it'd be Street Fighter Dark Stalkers crossover, or like it'd be a Street Fighter game that would include other fighting game characters that Capcom owns. But now that you say that, well, granted, like I'm going to say this right now.
It's gonna
like
be NFTs.
it probably they made an entire website that's about the big countdown. That is like this all stylized countdown thing. If it's not for a brand new game, Capcom fans are gonna riot. They're gonna lose their minds. If it's a maybe a Resident Evil remake might work. A Resident Evil 4 remake or Code Veronica remake, might make fans or like some fans might be okay with that. But if it's not a brand new game from a property that people love and adore, people are going to lose their minds, and going to be even more mad with Capcom than they have been, because, as you said, like they've only focused on Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, occasionally Street Fighter, and they'll do a Mega Man every 10 years maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you know, there was also a part of me that was kind of hoping that maybe it would just be like a Capcom Direct. Like maybe Capcom would do their own like special Direct like Nintendo does. But then I thought Capcom is not that big. It has a lot of popular franchises, but they're not on the level of Nintendo. I'm sorry, they just not.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it's something good. I'm really hoping it's at least something interesting, you know, because
all right.
Well, if it's anything, Steven, if it's gonna be NFT announced, you know, their Twitter account are gonna be flooded with hate mail, just people screaming at how much they hate this and how much they hate them.
All right, so let's talk about the Legends Arceus game. So,
we are talking about that?
Yes. So a modder found. Wait, did we say we weren't going to talk about it?
I put on. Okay, well, I just kind of cut it off here because I thought like, yeah, we had so much to talk about that I thought maybe we just won't cover that.
I guess you did. I guess you did take it off.
No. Since we mentioned it, we might as well bring it up.
It's not gonna take long. Modder found a modern room. It's really detailed in Legends Arceus. Kotaku's like, whoa! It might hint at DLC. Realistically, it's probably from a cutscene.
Yeah. I hate to spoil anybody's bubble. I just remember, this reminds me back when like Kingdom Hearts 1 came out and people were modding or like, you know, game breaking things of like, or hacking into where you could get back into Sora's room on his island, you know, in that cutscene, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
So like there is a way you can get back to Sora's room, but it's like you can't do a whole lot in it. Just like, oh, you're in Sora's room like in the cutscene. Oh, cool. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. It looks cool. It's, you know, it's got a Pikachu and Eevee switch, but you know, it's not gonna be modern day Sinnoh DLC. That's unrealistic.
That would just be a brand new game if that were the case.
All right. So next up, we've got Jordan's favorite, and he's gonna cover it, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Go ahead, buddy.
Cowabunga! All right. Yes. I obviously, when I talk about one of my favorite franchises, like I get super pumped and excited. You know, whenever somebody mentions Metroid, you know, I flare up, or Mega Man, or Castlevania. But man, like I gotta remember, I think the very first cartoon I ever saw was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from back in like I think like the late 80s or 90s. And I have watched several other iterations of TMNT. And you know I probably played some of the games. Of course, the one that everybody loves is Turtles in Time. The game, not the movie. So when they have announcing that there's going to be a brand new Ninja Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge, available for PS4 and PS5, yeah, I was hopeful, but also like there certainly have been more modern TMNT games that have been more missed than hit. But this is made by indie developer Tribute Games. They're releasing a bunch of different little indie games for PS4 and PS5, like Samurai Gun, Salt and Sacrifice, and what have you. But basically, new trailer popped up for TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which showcased that it mostly highlighted that you were able to play as Splinter, but I saw, again, like the very beginning, it showcases like, you know, April O'Neil in a fighting stance. And so I'm like, oh, wait, you could have played as, you know, April O'Neil the whole time? Oh, wow. Okay. And certainly the art style heavily gives off like the late 80s, early 90s TMNT cartoon. And looks like a fun beat 'em up that in the vein of the arcade TMNT games that I put a lot of quarters in. I remember Chuck E. Cheese having at least 2 TMNT, arcade cabinets that even though there were so many other things that could have been played, I know I kind of bugged my parents and my cousins to want to keep playing that. They had to drag me to play other stuff. There's something about them turtles, man, that really gets me excited. And yeah, seeing the little trailer they had announcing Splinter being a playable character, I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like a little kid again. As I said, I unfortunately have not got my PS4 hooked up. Yeah, I was playing PS4 games last year, but like now I've moved down in my basement and I haven't had a fully working TV to play PS4 games. As soon as I do, though, this game's gonna be on the list because this is right up my alley. Or what I'm seeing the trailer is things I would love to play. You see me still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Sorry, I was reading. Reading the next article.
All right, fair enough. So while you're doing that, a few other indie games coming into PS4 are like the first-person shooter Post Void coming out this spring. As I said, the 2D Souls-like sequel, Salt and Sacrifice. That'll be PvP combat. That'll be released in May 22nd. Newly announced Animal Well. It's more like a pixel art survival puzzle platformer. That'll also be released later this year. And there's like early access to the 2D fighting game Samurai Guns 2. And it apparently has like Among Us characters as playable character stat, which sounds crazy to me, but yeah, man, that's Among Us for you. It's getting everywhere.
All right. Did you still want to do that New York Times story? I don't really care about it, but
well, it's just really about Wordle and like New York Times. They own Wordle now, which I don't know why the New York Times is like owning like puzzle games or like word games now. But apparently, like they're having issues with their Wordle streak. There's like I don't know, something about it's broken. Trying to fix it, but anyway, yeah. Like I vaguely have seen a couple YouTubers play Wordle. It's like it's a very popular game, but it's not like I don't know a whole lot of people within my circles that have played the game. So yeah, probably leave it to like the Wordle experts out there that know more about this kind of stuff. So just like, hey, Wordle's kind of broken right now, and New York Times is trying to fix it. So that's about it.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about Uncharted. I have not heard good things about it.
Well, the movie hasn't come out. Well, I can't say anything because the movie hasn't come out yet. But yeah, the reviews are not great. Or like, I've heard that the positive reviews say like, oh, it's a fun action movie, but like it's not really Uncharted, or it doesn't really have the Uncharted vibes to it. Which,
it's from what I've heard, it's just cliche after cliche.
Yeah.
In that, while Tom Holland's a very charming person, it was a miscast.
I mean, I had a feeling they were going for more of the Uncharted, or like the flashbacks to Uncharted 3, where they showed like Nathan Drake as a kid and how he got all started and all this kind of thing. I knew they're going with that vibes, but even then, I wasn't entirely sure like how well this is going to go out, and apparently not. Well, again, I'll see it this weekend. I'll give a fair, honest review, just going in open-minded, just seeing. Just give my thoughts on it later. But as for what the next project for the Uncharted director is doing, What's the name of the director? What was it? Fletcher?
I don't know how to say his name. It's
Ruben.
Ruben.
Ruben Fleischer. Okay, Ruben Fleischer. He directed the first Venom movie. So that right there is hurting my expectations a bit more because
you didn't like it.
I'm sorry, guys. I did not like Venom. So, oh man, and also like so he's doing this Uncharted movie, and he's making a Jak and Daxter movie. Oh,
he's in talks with PlayStation to adapt it. Yes.
Damn it.
Whoa. Okay, you gotta stop.
I was trying to be optimistic. I was trying to be like, Uncharted may not be as bad as everybody says, and maybe this guy might be perfect for Jak and Daxter. Like, nah.
Just make sure.
I remember Venom. I gave that movie a fair shake, and I was
not happy.
Very disappointed by that movie. I was very underwhelmed by that movie. So, Sony, please find somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Please find another director. Come on, man. Jak and Daxter deserves better.
All right. Yeah. It's funny enough because this is the second Naughty Dog inspired adaptation they're working on. And it's the second one that Tom Holland wants to be part of.
I mean,
I can't blame him for wanting to be a part of things, especially things that he likes.
I have no problems with him. I think he's a great actor. It's just like I know he is struggling with things outside of Spider-Man. Peter Parker Spider-Man, he is doing great.
Yeah.
But he has tried to do other projects besides that have not gone over too well. Like that movie Cherry.
A lot of it has to do with his. I know I'm one to talk, but his baby face.
Well, I thought like he did a decent job in that movie, but the movie itself was not that great. And that's kind of that's the problem I'm kind of seeing with a lot of his stuff. Is like I know he's giving it his all. I know he's trying to give a good performance and trying to prove that he can do more than just like be Spider-Man. But unfortunately, like the projects he's picking are not that great, and again, I'm trying to think of like I can't really see him as either Jak or Daxter. Because like I like maybe the voice of Daxter, maybe, but even then, I don't think his voice is that iconic or that like, oh yeah, he can do like a wisecracking like little animal character, like say a
he's already
Bradley Cooper.
He's already said he wants to play Jax if they do it.
I mean, maybe young Jax, but I have a hard time imagine the Jax 2 and 3, like the sequels, because that one has a lot more personality and gets pretty dark.
I personally have never played the games, but I know people.
It's a great trilogy. It is a great trilogy, and yeah, you first played. Okay, I'll give you this. The first game feels like a fantasy world, kind of like platformer. Maybe like a little more edge to it than say a Banjo-Kazooie. Like a Banjo-Kazooie, but a little bit more edge. The sequel gets even edgier, dude. It gets into some dark places. But not like freaking 14-year-old me loved it, and also the third game is pretty good too. But that is considered to be one of the best. It's up there with one of the best like video game trilogies in terms of like all 3 installments being beloved by fans, and like having such memorable moments and characters. And yeah, I can't help but be a little more defensive about this. Usually, well, okay, that's not a lie, because I do get very defensive when it comes to properties I really, really care about. Hey, you heard me, not on the show, but you heard me like going mad with like all the news for Sonic when it was first coming out, and I thought for sure it was going to be a bomb. I thought for sure they were going to completely just tarnish the name of Sonic even more, and I was pleasantly surprised. I had to go and eat my own words and tell everybody, No, this movie's really good. It is damn good. And
oh my god, okay,
please,
buddy, you gotta stop saying that word. Okay.
Darn it, I will stop.
You've said it 3 times already this episode.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm a bit more emotional.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mean to fuss. It's just, we want to make sure you can say it a certain amount of times, but if we say it too much, then the video gets restricted.
I get like 2 or 3, right?
That was it. You said them all.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be a good boy.
Better. But yeah, speaking of Sonic.
Yeah, it's a good day to be a Sonic fan, or very lot more let me hopeful for the future, I should say.
Sonic 2, as we all know, is coming out in spring. Yes, spring.
Oh yeah, I was trying to see what the release date for that one is. It is coming out very soon.
Yes. So they've already started developing the 3rd movie, which makes sense.
Oh yeah.
But they're also working on the first ever original live-action Sonic series. It's supposed to feature Knuckles, and Idris Elba is supposed to return as Knuckles. It's supposed to launch in 2023, so we have to wait a year to see if it'll be any good. But can't be worse than the Sonic cartoon from the 80s, 90s.
So long as Ken Penders just gets nowhere near it, I think we'll be okay.
Stop. You can stop right there. Oh, God. We don't talk about that, man.
That guy has such a weird fixation for Knuckles and echidnas.
We
and
don't
just
talk
how he
about
drew them
penders. Not a word about penders.
I did hear about your rendition of the Hamilton songs have been great.
Thank you.
I know we talked about like doing our own songs or like doing parody songs. I think we could do talk about Pender. We could. I would jump on board on that. I'll buy whatever equipment I got to get to do the perfect singing or what I got learned to help that out, because that needs to exist. That song needs to be out there to warn the folks.
I guess I'll start writing it.
Dangers of it.
But yeah.
But no, man.
Excited.
Hey, this sounds pretty good, and certainly, I can imagine. Like again, we haven't seen the second movie yet. I'm hopeful it's good, but yeah, there's plenty of like storylines within Sonic games, even the bad ones, that I thought had pretty interesting stories that they could play off of, or redo them to have them to fit better into a movie. That I think they got a lot of material. Is what I'm trying to say.
And I actually think that's it for our stories. We kind of blazed through that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I in my head I had in my head of like my top 10 favorite TMNT games, but it has been a while since I played them. So if I ever go do top 10 or top 5s, I want to at least like give an honest opinion and like be sure I know what I'm talking about. And certainly, I do remember Turtles in Time and a few of the arcade games. And there was even like a 2003 TMNT game that was based on that cartoon series from 2002, the more serious-looking one that I really liked. Yeah, so I thought that game was pretty good.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We got some links to videos up there. And as always, leave a like and subscription, and we'll see you next week. And until then, stay cool.
Turtle Power!